Talk to me, Goose. Talk to me, Goose. Hey, welcome. Oh, you're Maverick. I'm Goose. All right. I'm
Maverick. No.
I'm Goose. Okay. All right. Hey, welcome to the Aloha Friday Marketing Jam Session. It is launch day, baby. I'm here with my business partner, Nick Ponte. We got a special guest today. Tons of fun. We're going to talk about the new PPC Maverick course that just launched today from Offline Sharks, and our good friend and PPC master, Brandon Spears, who is in the waiting room right now, coming to you from a live event that he's attending of other high achievers. We're going to get him on here to talk in a little bit. We got lots of things to cover. We're going to take your questions. We're going to do some shout outs. We're just going to have an all around good time. So grab a cool drink. I'm going to cue up the intro, and we'll see you back here in just a minute.
It's now time, the moment you've been waiting for. Get ready for the fastest 60 minutes of marketing strategies and tactics to build your remote empire from anywhere in the world. After 167 agonizing hours, they've finally returned. From the sun-soaked Sin City and the sandy shores of Maui, Hawaii, now back for a brand new Aloha Marketing Jam Session. It's your hosts, the Offline Sharks and Remote Millionaires, Tom Gaddis and Nick Ponte.
Yeah, I'm stretching. I don't want to pull a hammy during this live show. It's a little intense. Got to make sure I'm limbered up. Hey, aloha. Welcome, everybody. I see Dorn. Ken, welcome. Michael, Norm. Ooh, that's right. Taylor, Sushan. Awesome. Glad to see you guys. Yes, Nick is in Denver, Colorado today. We should do a segment called Find Nick, or Where Will Nick Be Today?
Yeah. Well, tomorrow I'll be back in Washington.
Hold on, I got to turn off the applause. There we go.
People are just excited out there, you know. They're super fired. He'll start the duck music. They're super fired up on the launch.
Yeah, well, I thought the song you were playing was called Ducks Doing Something, but I don't see. Oh, Feeding the Ducks.
Feeding the Ducks.
There we go. Feeding the Ducks. There we go. Awesome. Well, welcome. Man, excited you guys are here. We got a jam-packed show. So we are going to just, I think, get right to it. And then we'll bring Brandon on. We'll take questions if you have them. It's going to be a really good time. So why don't we start off, or we love to start off with our shark shout outs. Love doing this segment of the show. Hold on. I'm going to pull up some slides here. I'm going to share my screen.
We're going to do some shout outs. We got to give credit where credit is due.
Yeah. All right, let's do it. So Yella closed a 400 euros by making one phone call, charging a client for work he already did, but wanted quoted up front, and he hired an appointment setter. Congratulations, Jello. That's awesome. Gaetano closed in.
He also just got his appointment setter, which is pretty massive, right? Like that was a huge win.
Yeah, he hired an appointment setter.
Yeah,
really awesome. Big first step. Gaetano closed an HVAC client for some services. Akshay closed another client for a website, $1,950, plus an SEO deal for $1,625 and content for $950. Awesome to see Akshay crushing it. He's been working hard in the Remote Millionaires program. You know, it's interesting. He shared a win the other day, Nick. He sent some donuts to a client, and they gave him like this huge testimonial. I was like, oh, what a great strategy.
That is. Awesome. You know, he's a prime candidate though, Tom, for PPC. That client that he just got. This is what I love about Google Ads. So he just closed a client website, right? Almost $2,000. Sell them SEO, $1,600. The next thing to sell them is Google Ads, because if you obviously have somebody that trusts you enough to do SEO, well, why not pitch them on the opportunity to bring in leads and clients tomorrow, rather than having to wait 6 months, which is good. I like to sell SEO and Google AdWords all together, and sometimes it doesn't always work. In selling it all up front, sometimes you have to like do one and then the other in a graduated process, which is totally fine. But yeah, so if you have somebody like this that you're already selling something to and they're not doing Google Ads yet, like that is the ultimate upsell, which is what we're going to talk about today. But by the way, put a 1 in the chat if you have done Google Ads before. If you've run Google Ads, if you have a Google AdWords client, maybe you can put in the chat how many that you have. And if you haven't, put a 2 in the chat while we go through these shout outs, just so we can see who here has some experience with Google Ads, because this is what we're going to be talking about today.
Yeah, awesome. Let's see. Our next shout outs goes to Bill Stanley, closed 2 project management contracts, 9,600 and 2,500. JT, he landed 3 clients from a business networking international meeting. A website refresh for a chiropractor, $2,100 plus $395 a month with Bright Social package, a $1,250 a month SEO package. He also landed a retargeting campaign in SEO for a 360 video company, $395 a month retargeting, $1,250 SEO, and a retargeting campaign for a commercial cleaning company, $495 a month. That's excellent. That's excellent. And, actually, when we get Brandon on here, we'll talk a little bit about this because, sometimes people ask, well, what's a good strategy for your clients in a competitive market, but they don't have a lot of money? Brandon has an answer to that. He will tell you on this live stream exactly what you should be doing for those types of clients. So you guys are going to love it. And Storm and Norman sold a basic SEO package, $1,248 Canadian dollars.
Love it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Wow. A short list of shout outs today. All right. Well, so for those of you that are keeping track at home, that brings our combined total for the week of September 3rd to September 9th, $24,323. Our grand total since the start of 2022, $1,063,577. Congratulations, everybody. I mean, that is so awesome to see that. And hold on, I'm going to put this graphic up here because Shushan worked so hard on it. There's our total revenue generated so far. Congratulations to everyone. I'm going to, where did it go? Here it is. Yes. Get some applause out there for everybody.
And for everybody that's new to the stream, that's what we've been tracking in this group for the last year. So these are all wins. Some of them are ours, but I mean, the majority, I would say 90% of those wins are from everybody else in this group. They're not even from Tom and myself. I will occasionally share a couple wins in our agency just to kind of, talk a little bit about what we're doing, but there are a lot that we're not sharing too. We like to keep these numbers pretty concentrated on what everybody else is doing. So this is an awesome place to be if you're an agency owner. Stick around. If this is your first time tuning into this live, I mean, people, hang out in this group, they ask questions, they get feedback, and they get success. So you're in the right spot.
Yep, absolutely. Awesome. All right. So that's our shark shout outs. Why don't we do our member of the week real quick too? Oh, maybe I don't think we have a member of the week this week since we have a special guest. So tune in next week.
You're the member of the week.
I should be member of the week. I don't know if you noticed. I've been posting and commenting more in the Facebook group. I don't know if you noticed.
You've been doing a good job. I have been noticing that. We'll send you a shark treasure chest.
Oh, that'd be great. I would love to have one. Awesome. Well, hey, I think without any further ado, why don't we get our special guest out here? Let's get some questions rolling. Let's talk about PPC. Let's talk about pay-per-click. Let's talk about local marketing. And why don't you guys give a warm shark welcome to the man himself, Mr. Brandon Spears.
Yo, what's up, guys?
Hold on, let me take this banner down so it's not blocking your face there.
I like the million, though. You can leave the million under there.
Yeah. That's a nice milestone, isn't it?
Yeah. Leave the million under there. I like it.
Yeah, awesome. I know we talk a little bit on the PPC Mavericks page about who you are and all that stuff, but maybe you could just give our community a little kind of overview of who you are, what you've got going on, what you've been doing, and then we can start firing up some questions. So if you guys have questions for Brandon, please put them in the stream so we can ask away and get this party going. But Brandon, take it away.
Yeah, so I'm a media buyer at heart. I've been doing a lot of paid advertising for the last 5 to 6 years, and before that, I actually started by hand coding websites before you could drag and drop funnel builders, and then I got away from that because the paid advertising was just so much better for recurring revenue than just one-off projects, and it took a long time. Currently, I have 2 marketing agencies. One of them has done over 7 figures for the last 2 years, and my new company might not hit it this year. It's only been around for about 4 months, but it will definitely hit it next year. So, and that's mainly a Google PPC focused agency. So got a lot of cool stuff going on, and I'm excited for all you guys taking the course and what you can get out of it and how much you can help with your clients.
Yeah, that's awesome. Cool. What I'm just curious, like your PPC agency, you work with what niche are you in there? Contractors?
No, actually, it is a full service, meaning we will take any niche as long as they meet the client criteria.
Awesome. What's your current client criteria? I know people would be interested to know that.
They need at least $10,000 a month in ad spend.
But you didn't start there, right?
No. I started with like $500, $700, $1,000 a month in ad spend.
Yeah, well, but I want to say, like, even at a requirement of 10,000 a month, like, you're in no shortage of clients, right? I mean, I want people to understand the opportunity. Like, obviously, you're not going to just hit the ground landing $10,000 a month clients, but like the opportunity is definitely there when you hone in and you develop the skill and you have an understanding of it and how to do it and all that stuff.
And it's funny. I'll tell you my biggest lesson since I've had this agency happen last month. I had a very large client spending about $1 million a month on Google come to me, and they wasn't happy with their current agency. And I give them like a whole game plan audit. Like I knew I could just blow the account up, right? I quoted the monthly retainer at $25,000 a month, right? They did not hire me because I quoted it too low. They said that the current company they're using is $45,000 a month, and they didn't think I could do the quality of work at $25,000 a month. They was expecting me to quote higher. So that tells you what kind of stuff is out there.
That is like the ultimate kick in the nuts.
Yeah, and it wasn't even like that much work. It was just that big company expected $50,000 a month in retainer for a marketing.
Oh man, that was great. We're gonna have to take that audio quote out from you, Nick, right there.
Why? I mean, here's why it is. It's because they basically told him, like, hey, if you would have just charged us $45,000 a month, we would have taken you on. But because you went low, to me, that's exactly what that is.
Yeah, well, you know what?
They didn't trust me because they thought I was way too low.
Yeah, well, it's interesting that you bring that up, and I think this is a good point to talk about because we had a Remote Millionaires member have the same thing happen to them. She quoted a client a price and another company was higher, and they were like, they said the exact same words to her. We didn't feel you could do the quality of work at that price. And it was a big lesson for her, right? And especially when you're going after those more competitive niches where people understand what's going on and what the costs are, like there really isn't a value. And like you think like, oh, if I come in low, everybody will just flock to my door. That's not the case. Like they want quality, right? And they're willing to pay for it. And so it's just always good to remember that. Always good to remember that. I see some questions coming in. So I want to enter a couple of these. So Mark has a great question. It says, how can this be used to get clients first and then help clients? So Brandon, maybe you can talk a little bit about like, what are some of the selling points, some of the advantages of PPC for clients? And then maybe you can just, I know inside PPC Maverick, just so you guys know, we have a whole module on getting clients, acquiring clients. I think we even have a bonus in there of Brandon doing one of his favorite methods, which is a little audit of their PPC. But maybe you can, and then I know Nick kind of touched on it before you hopped on, but maybe you can just touch on what are the advantages and you know, why is it so attractive to clients and what kind of results can it get them?
Yeah, so it's attractive to clients because you're capturing intent-based traffic, right? For the company, meaning like if you knew someone, say that you owned a mattress store and you knew that someone woke up today and their back was hurting and they was thinking about buying a new mattress, would you give them $1 to come into your store and shop your store for mattresses, right? Well, absolutely you would. And that's the same thing with Google. You are putting your client's product and service in front of people who need it right then and right there. Where on Facebook and YouTube and other platforms, TikTok, you're interrupting someone's feed where they're looking for something entertaining and making them an offer. Google's completely opposite. You're just hitting on people who are actually needing the service right then and there. Awesome.
You know, one thing, Tom, that I wanted to share with everybody too is just a little bit, and we can keep going to the questions, but just a little bit how we actually landed on this and started working with Brandon ourselves, because I don't think everybody here really knows that, you know. So Brandon runs ad for us. You know, within our agency, we do a lot of advertising. You know, we have, I don't know, probably somewhere around 20 clients paying us each month for Google AdWords in the agency, right? This is just in the agency side of our business. But the truth is, Tom and I, we actually don't really run any of those ads ourselves, which a lot of you might be doing that. Who here is running ads themselves? Put a 1 in the chat if you're running ads yourself, or maybe put a 2 in the chat if you are outsourcing your ads, or you have an expert running your ads for you. So that being said, while Tom and I are busy running the different areas of our business, we have experts help us running the advertising, which is where Brandon comes in. Brandon came into the picture because he helped us run a lot of ads. He's one of the experts that has done far better than we could have ever done ourselves in the world of paid advertising. So, the whole way that this came about is because Brandon's running ads for us. We decided to use our network for all of you in this community, offline sharks, remote millionaires, to leverage that and show you some of the information and strategy that he uses there. We have PPC Maverick. It's a launch that just came out, right? It's on a special launch pricing right now for 4 days. It's going to be super inexpensive to get this type of information. I don't think you've ever released this information at a price point like this before, have you, Brandon?
No, absolutely not.
What was the last price point that you released some of this type of information before?
So I previously sold this course to it was somewhere between 20 and 30 of my inner circle members for $3,000 a piece, and everyone was super happy with it. I had 0 people complain about the course.
And one of the reasons that we like what you do is because you're doing all of this stuff, right? You're not just creating courses, you're actually running ads. All the information and stuff that you're sharing with everybody is actually because this is exactly what you're doing. You live in this space. So again, for all of you that are here with us, like, you have access to this information because of the network and the relationship that we've built with Brandon. You're gaining some insider information from somebody that's spending or has spent millions of dollars in ad spend before, so that you don't have to go spend that ad spend yourself and learn how to do it. You can just take that information, that expert level information, and access it and put it into play for your business. So I just wanted to kind of throw that out there at the beginning to let everybody know how this came about. Because I didn't know if people knew, how we know each other, and I think it's important to share that. So
yeah, I see some questions in here that are.
Yeah, we're gonna get to those because we're gonna hammer away a few at a time here and knock out some other things that everybody was wanting. Let's go. Whenever you mention, that you have an agency doing 7 figures, everybody always wants to know what industries, niches are you going after to hit those 10,000 benchmarks. I know you work with a lot of different ones. What are some of your favorite niches and industries to work with?
So I like home services, and I like e-commerce.
Okay.
And I like SaaS. And then anything high ticket coaching programs, high ticket consulting, anything high ticket, because high ticket is actually if you want to get those larger budgets, like if someone is spending 10 grand, but for instance, in Dallas, a normal roof is 25 grand, you can spend 10 grand, get them 1 client, and they're still super happy because you got them an ROI, right? And obviously 10 grand, you're going to get more than 1 client, but that's just, it's easier the higher ticket the niche, the easier it is to get results for, and the higher budgets that you can get out of those.
Yeah, that's great. And I know, Nick, you can speak to this because you have a solar client at the agency that you're doing PPC for that's paying you a lot of money each month, right?
Yeah. And, there are a lot of different ways to do it. Like, different people will tell you that you should run your agency in different ways. Like, some people like to do retainers from companies that give you a performance percentage, like meaning if you sell $100,000 worth of whatever their products are, you get a percentage of that. Some people just do like a base fee, but for me in my agency, and I think Brandon is similar. Well, I know Brandon is similar. We just do a flat fee. Like, we have a client that is in the solar niche and they're doing millions off of the ads that we're running for them. And they pay us $4,000 a month, but they literally never ask us a single question ever. And I recently sent them our reporting, or my project manager did. And the response that we got back was that, like, they don't even read the reports. They don't even care because the phone rings so much. They get so many contact form submissions. They get so many job quote forms filled out that no matter what, they know they're in the green. It doesn't even matter to them. They're just so happy with the results that we're able to get them through Google Ads. And it's because, again, what Brandon said about the intent-based searching. But I'm curious for you, Brandon. Do you do performance type retainers, or have you done it before? Or are you at a base pay?
I always take a retainer, always. And then with e-commerce clients, anything over 25,000 becomes anywhere from an 8 to 6% ad spend. So percentage of ad spend.
Nice.
Smart. Yeah. The reason I brought up that solar client was exactly what you said, Nick, is that, yeah, they're paying you $4,000 a month, but to them, they would probably pay double that, because the business they're not spending $4,000 a month. They're like coming out on the plus side. And that's one of the things that I think was a huge shift for me with what we learned from Brandon, and why I was so excited to bring this course out was because, you know, sometimes when you think about pay-per-click, maybe you think, oh, there's just so much. There's lots of things you got to keep track of and conversions and da-da-da-da-da. But Brandon really simplifies it down into what he calls the one true number. And maybe, Brandon, you can talk to people on the stream about what that is, the one true number, and how that helps you, you know, effectively close deals and perform for your clients.
Yeah, this is a great way to answer a lot of these same questions that I see coming in, is like, how are you getting the ad spend amount from these people, right? And a lot of people, you have to remember, have not had good experiences with marketers. And so they want to start very small. But when you get to the one true number, which is their break-even number, right, is basically your cost plus ad spend plus their cost of goods. You know, where do you need to be at with that, right? Like, how many sales do they need to return investment? And if you see that, you know, they need 2 sales or 3 sales, and their average cost to acquire a client is like $1,000, and you only get $1,000 in ad spend for that client, you've lost before you ever started. So when you get to the one true number, it might tell you that the minimum ad spend that they can have for you to hit those goals is $8,000 a month, right? Like, if you want to have a good ROI, you need to spend $8,000 a month or $10,000 a month. And that's kind of how we lead that conversation. We educate them as the expert to, hey, this is how much ad spend you actually need to spend if you want to get a good result with marketing. Otherwise, we're going to have the same result as everyone else that you ran traffic with.
Yeah, and actually in the course, you go into, I think, some detail about the one true number, how you get to it, how to do it, how to frame that conversation, and all that stuff. So
yeah, and it's kind of cool because a lot of times, and this will get you through month 1 into month 2 right out of the gate, is they don't know their closing percentage. They don't know their booking percentage. They don't know their average ticket price when they go out on a call or when they make a sell. So you give them those numbers to track through month 1. So month 1 becomes testing. So now automatically you're getting month 2 because they got to figure out their numbers in month 1.
Interesting. Right? Yeah.
And, you know, there's also something to be said too, everybody, like that solar client and the types of, I mean, I don't know about for Brandon, but at least for me, that solar client didn't start out paying us that $4,000 either, right? Like, they started out paying us $1,000 a month, because I know for some people that might be brand new to running Google Ads, like asking for a $4,000 a month retainer might feel a little, a little crazy. You might feel like you can't do that, like out of reach. Well, a lot of my first clients started paying me $500 a month for Google Ads, you know, and I think a lot of people can feel comfortable in asking for $500 a month or $1,000 a month just to get started, right? Just to get your feet wet in learning on how to do this service, how to fulfill this service. And I can tell you that when you deliver some results and you make their phone ring, you make some contact form submissions come in, and you do what, like we did with that solar client, is ask for more money at a little bit later of a date. It's a very easy conversation to have. So when we went from 1,000 to 2,000 or 2,000 to 4, like even the 2,000 to 4,000, didn't even blink. Like, we probably should have asked them for more money much sooner, long before than we ever did. And it's because of the value that we delivered. And, you know, Google Ads, it's just an easy way to deliver value to these clients. So you'll always be able to move your prices up once you start to do that.
Yeah, and that's why I put Sandy's thing up there, because Sandy, there's nothing wrong with starting in the low budget realm, right? I know people always ask us, like, so just so you know, with all the courses we develop and put out here at Offline Sharks, we give you everything that you need in the main course to do whatever it is we're teaching and to get results with it, right? We do have some upgrades, things that make it go a little faster, things like that. One of the things in, I think it's in the first upgrade, it's like a missile sales and marketing pack. But one of the things we included in there is like a list of all the niches. And we had Brandon go through and like color code them all based on green is easy, yellow is sort of hard, red. That way, when you're starting and you're trying to figure this out and learn it, like you can focus on the easy niches to get your chops going, to get your confidence built up. And sometimes, like, yeah, some of those red niches, yeah, they have high retainers, but like Brandon was saying at the beginning, they're also super competitive and they know what's going on. So it's very hard to break into those red niches when you don't have the confidence or that, that behind you. So, we always recommend starting with those smaller things. Start people out on a small budget, and as they get results, gradually build them up. It'll make it a lot easier if you ask for more money too, when you see the kind of results you're delivering and all those kinds of things as well.
What's a minimum budget you take on, or you did in the beginning? Because I know you probably have a much higher minimum that you do now, but
I would take any budget, man. I just wanted to get practice, right?
Yeah. What do you recommend for somebody that's new? Like, what's the minimum budget for them? Same thing, any budget.
$1,500, but anyone, don't do anything for free, right? Because people don't like really dive into it. And I got like this thing, like I get paid to practice, like that's my thing. Even if you're getting $300 a month, you're still putting in multiple hours for that client, so you might as well get paid. So I always recommend minimum $1,500. That at least gives you, $50 a day or so to play with. And most clicks in most industries are less than $5. So that, you can get 10 clicks a day. If you have a decent landing page converting at 10-20%, you can get 1 to 2 leads a day off of that, so that's why I kind of go with that.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. This person said they haven't niched down. So a lot of people keep telling them to do that, but they offer local lead gen services using Google Ads, Facebook ads, LinkedIn ads, business to business, still in two minds. Do you have any thoughts on that, Brandon?
Yeah. So if you're running a Facebook agency, TikTok agency, you need to niche down, because the content required for Facebook is a lot more upkeep. And then if you don't have videos that you can reuse for multiple clients, and Nick and Tom can tell you, we constantly have to come up with new creative for ads. So if you got to do that for 30 different industries, it is a lot of work. But that's what makes Google Ads so great. There is no creative other than some still images for a new extension that they came out with. It's just text ads. So you can be in multiple niches and have a big Google PPC agency much easier than you can with Facebook or TikTok. And that's really the advantage. You don't have to niche down if you're just running a Google Ads agency. If you are going to run Facebook ads, I 100% recommend that you niche down.
That's interesting. And, I've always been of the opinion, I know everybody says that advice too, niche down, but I think in the beginning, especially when you're learning something new or offering something new, I think it's better to go broad and narrow your focus as you go and as you get experience. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that's a perfectly viable strategy.
It's the best way to do it, because if you get really good ads in roofing for 3 clients, but you failed in solar and plumbing, where should you go? You should go into the one that you're getting the best results for.
Yeah, absolutely.
I usually like to base whether I'm niching down or not, similar to you, Brandon, but also how I'm doing my prospecting or how I'm getting the client. For example, our agency ranks really well for Hawaii Google AdWords or PPC Manager Hawaii or Hawaii SEO. So if a solar company finds me organically to run Google Ads or do SEO for them, am I going to be like, nope, we only do plumbers? Sorry. No, we're gonna run ads for them too. So we don't really discriminate in the organic incoming lead methods, right? But if we're gonna run Facebook ads, again, kind of echoing what you're saying about Facebook, if we're gonna run Facebook ads to get solar clients, then the marketing that we're going to use is going to be niche specific. We're going to talk about doing Google ads for solar clients, not Google ads for any business out there, because that's going to be too broad. You want to be more specific in your marketing to bring in a specific type of client. So I personally only really niche down when it comes to finding a specific client in a certain way. And then of course you got to niche down for the ads that you're running for people, like Brandon said.
Yeah. And this is a great question. Oh, sorry, Brandon. This is a great question too, because the course we put out just before this was on retargeting, and somebody's asking, how can you differentiate for clients if you should do PPC or retargeting? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so it's kind of a two-sided question. First, Google needs at least 500 unique visitors to a website per month to start to retarget, right? So if it's got less than that, organically, then you're gonna have to run some PPC traffic to get it there, right? However, if a client doesn't have a big budget and you need to compete, with just retargeting, because retargeting is always the most profitable ads, right? Like, because people has already interacted with you. I like to run a strategy where we might start spending at 5 o'clock when most people get off work, from like 5 to midnight or 5 to 2 in the morning, and use their budget then solely on retargeting ads or search ads, because a lot of your bigger companies will blow their budget in the first 4 hours of the day because they close at 5 o'clock. So there's different ways to compete, but I love display retargeting ads with Google.
Yeah, that's interesting that you said that, because I know yesterday when we had an in-depth session with the Remote Millionaires members that you came on, and like everybody in the group today was like, dude, that call was awesome. Like Brandon crushed it. But one of the things you mentioned there was when you're dealing with a client that is in a very competitive niche, but they don't have a big budget, but they want to do something. And what were the recommendations you made for that type of client? Like, what were the things you would do specifically for them?
Yeah, stay away from any time before lunch, right? Yep. I don't know. Across all my clients, like I noticed that lunchtime is the least profitable time for Google ads of any other time. And the reason being is like people are like trying to fit it in that 30 minutes lunch window, and they might like sign up for it or something, and you can't get a hold of them for the rest of the day. And by the time they get home, they forgot about it, right? So a lot of our clients will actually block out lunch. Like we don't want to bid on lunch times, like 11 to 2. But for your clients that are in really competitive niches, that's the strategy where you do after they get off of work. Like you bid in those evening hours because most people have blown their budget in the earlier part of the day. Or if they have a little bit left, you have a bigger budget than them, meaning Google's going to prioritize your ads first because they have more to spend.
Awesome. That's good advice. You also said too, like you would focus on retargeting and then also branded, right? Running ads to their brand name.
So every client that you get with Google should have a branded campaign, which is just their company name, and then a retargeting display campaign. Like minimum, like you could set that up for clients, really low maintenance, charge $300 to $500 a month, and you can keep that client for a very long period of time on even low spend.
Awesome. Yeah. And Jack, this is a great question. So we do have a spreadsheet in the upgrade package that's right out of Brandon's agency that you just punch in the numbers and it tells you exactly what you should be spending and doing all that stuff. But we do cover it in the main course. Like we show you how to do it and all that stuff. Let's see. Let me look through some of these.
Another thing to kind of piggyback on that question that Brandon just answered about the traffic fuel, secret traffic code, and PPC, like we like to always add on an additional fee for retargeting too in our monthly management. I know some people don't do that, but we do it. Like for example, if we're running ads for somebody, $2,000 a month management fee. Somebody asked in the questions, is the management fee include ad spend? No, that's separate. So whenever we say management fee, we mean that's just the management. They're paying ad spend on top of that. But let's say we're running $2,000 a month ad spend management fee. We will then later on say like, hey, we want to do a retargeting campaign or a traffic fuel campaign. It's going to be an additional $1,000 a month. And we tell them about the program and everything, all the value and the benefits that come with it. So then that's just something that we can bolt on to what we're already doing and, drive more revenue for our business, but also get them a bigger and broader reach using some other tools as well. So those two things kind of work together. And there's also a foot in the door strategy that we have with traffic fuel, but I'm not going to talk about that right now because we're just talking about Google ads.
This is all about Brandon today.
It's all about Brandon. Let's go, Brandon.
Desiree wants to know, if you do a flat fee, what expectations are you giving them? It's so dynamic at the start. This throws me for a loop.
Yeah. So in the beginning, I wouldn't have like a set fee. But as I got bigger and I started getting overhead, like there is a minimum retainer we have to hit per client to break even as a company, right? Which is where these numbers are coming in. So I don't want you to get stuck on it, especially if you're starting out and you're trying to grow, you're wearing all the hats in the company. But as you grow, your retainer has to grow because you have to make sure that you're covering, your overhead. But when we're getting the expectation for the retainer, like we're giving everything that's included, right? Like we're going to manage your ad for 30 days. We're going to give you a weekly report. You're going to get a dedicated account manager. If you have setters for them, like whatever your service provides, that is exactly what we give them. And we also never guarantee a return on investment. And especially in the first 30 days, I give them a 4-month window of, hey, you can't expect us to come in and fix all your marketing issues in 30 days. You need to commit to this for 3 to 4 months, which is where the contracts come in. I'm very confident I can get someone an ROI in 4 months. I'm not always confident that I can drill it down in 30 days. And that's the I'm very transparent. If someone doesn't like that, I don't work with them.
That's good stuff. That's really important.
Yeah, you need the right mindset clients that they're going to be in it for the long run and not just 30 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, and you don't want to set up the wrong expectation too, you know, like you don't want people thinking that they're going to turn on some sort of advertising and get tons of results immediately. You have to let them know there's the potential for that, but it's not a guarantee.
Yeah, and that's why so many people's been burned in the space, and why marketing has a black eye. You see all these people like, we guarantee $100,000 on $2,000 in ad spend. We guarantee 100 appointments in 30 days or less. Guess what? They're hoping it works. They're hoping. That's their sales tactic. They don't know that it's going to work, and that's why so many people get burned. Don't do it. Set the right expectation. They'll have more trust in you. It'll be a better relationship with the client.
Yeah. Don't follow the internet marketing world example. Do not do that.
Don't.
Yeah.
Don't
do
it.
Yeah.
No.
Hey, go for it, Tom.
No, go ahead, Nick.
I was going to ask one other question I saw come up after that one. Sorry.
Okay. Norm wanted to know the food and beverage industry. Is that good for PPC ads? Have you had any experience in that, Brandon?
I'm not in the food and beverage industry. However, I do know that Google ads work really well for restaurants, which would basically be food and beverage industry. The problem with it is you need to make sure that you have a special coupon or something that people bring to the restaurant or give to the host so that they can actually track the results that you get, since it's not like a lead form or a call. It has to be some kind of code that they give for a discount on food or something.
Gotcha. Hey, and if somebody on the team, I see there's somebody in the stream, Flexible Lifestyles, that's looking for a link to one of the upgrades because they missed it. If somebody on the team could make a note of that and get that to them, that would be great. And I'm going to give you guys a link to PPC Maverick 2 here in a minute, so you can go check it out. And then after we take a few more questions, I want to show you the course and some of those things as well. But Nick, fire away with your question.
Thanks. Yeah, I just saw, so Norm asked this one, and I knew that Brandon has the answers, but there's just a way of kind of throwing it to him that I wanted to adjust here. So he says, when hiring a person like Brandon, what are some good questions to identify them as really pro at what they do? So, I know Brandon on his team, he has other people that are media buyers. So he does recruit people that are top level media buyers, meaning people that run ads, to his team. So, Brandon, what are some things that you look for when bringing in other experts to run ads for your agency? Do they have to have experience, set amount of time, stuff like that?
Yeah, so I actually give them a scenario and have them go build me a full campaign, right? I want to see how versatile they are.
A test project.
Yes, it is a test project, because so many people can learn the terminology and watch a couple videos and make it sound really good and say they spent X dollars or whatever. So I'll give them a full project, like, hey, go build me. I won't give them an offer or anything. Go create a full campaign for a marketing agency that's looking to get B2B clients, or go build a roofing ad out for B2C, right, to consumer. And I'm not looking at how good they are at graphic design or necessarily even how good they are at the copywriting. I want to see the setup and the structure, the way that they structure the ad account, right? And that's how I judge it, how their settings are set up. Do they structure with the top, middle, and bottom of funnel? What's their naming conventions like? Like that stuff right away will tell me if they have experience at large scale or not, just off the naming conventions and the structure of the account.
Do you ever run into issues when asking people to do a test project for you? Do they ever want you to pay them or anything like that?
Nope. If they don't do it, they don't get hired.
Right. And that was
Like,
kind of an underhanded throw that I just, threw out there because I know people are asking that, right? They always say that, like, I spoke with somebody and I wanted them to run ads and I asked them to do a test project, but they wouldn't do it unless I paid them. And, we always say, then just move on because, through our experience, and I know Brandon can agree to this, there are a ton of people out there that want to run advertising that suck at getting clients. Be the person that can bring in the clients and connect their skill set with the clients. Like that's what I do. I'm not good at running ads, but I know people like Brandon who are really good at running ads. You know what I do? I use a foot in the door strategy to go find a client, and then I have Brandon run the ads for them. And that's how I profit. I don't even have to run the ads. I just, go out there and get clients. And then I have my team going out there and getting clients. And that's how you really scale your marketing agency like this.
Yes. And I thought this was more around like hiring someone. Like if you're going to hire someone and you're like trying to figure out where they are on a media buying like level, yes, I'm going to give them a test project as like a test of should I hire you or not.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's totally normal, right? It's totally acceptable in this world.
It is very normal for a company to give you, because I'm looking for the media buyer who puts back 10% for constant audience testing. I love that. Like when someone's doing that, like I'm looking for the guy who creates a middle and bottom of funnel campaign. Like I'm not looking for the guy that sets up a campaign with one audience and an ad. Like that tells me that they don't have much experience.
Gotcha. Here's a great question. What are your thoughts on robots clicking PPC ads? How do you avoid them?
Good question.
It is a good question because you do have trolls and you do have bots. The best service that I have used to do this, it's almost, if you have any more than like 2 clients, you can't do it on your own. But ClickC's does a really good job of masking out IPs that continue to click on your ads. So it gets rid of them so your ads don't show. But that's really the only way to do it. Also, you can put a hidden field inside of your submit button that a normal person can't see, but if it's filled out, it won't submit the form on the landing page, so you don't get like those fake leads through there.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing you said there, because somebody shared this at the traffic event I was just at, and I thought this was clever. They make, like, whenever somebody goes to click the ad, they have, like, the first thing is a drop down, and the default answer is something that a normal client would never click. So, like, let's say, I don't know, whatever that is. Like, maybe you're like, what are you interested in? PPC, Facebook. Like, the first thing would be, like, pizza, and then there'd be PPC retargeting. I mean, that's not the right example, but you get the idea. So that when a robot just clicks the form, it automatically fills in the answer that a real person would never select. And then like, oh, hey, that's not a real deal.
Yeah, but that doesn't keep them from clicking the ad. The only way that you can keep things from clicking the ad is like if you see like an IP address, click that ad more than once, like you add them over into the block list.
Gotcha.
It's really tedious to do, so you're better off hiring someone to do it.
I was going to say the truth is that like you can try your best to fight off against that, but you're never going to be complete, right? You're never going to find a silver bullet that's going to take care of that completely. But the reward outweighs, that most of the time. Most of the time you're in a much higher return on your investment than the 5% or the 7% that are actually clicking on your ads that are bot or referral spam. Your goal is to be in like a 2, 3, 4x ROI with your campaigns, so that kind of stuff doesn't even matter.
Yeah, and I'm not promoting it. I don't even use ClickC's anymore, but from a standpoint of what actually did a little bit of help, it was ClickC's. But not
you just focus on making more money, don't you?
That's it.
Yeah.
We like to say, show me the money around here, Brandon.
That's all you can really do,
Here's a question. Is there a part of the training that shows how to do Google ads ourselves to attract prospects for the service? So one thing, first, you can use all the techniques and everything that Brandon teaches in the course to run ads for yourself. We have a module just on client getting as well. But Brandon, do you have any specific thoughts or advice to somebody who may want to do that?
Yeah, I would stick with the outbound prospecting methods when you're first getting started, because digital marketing term clicks can be $50 to $100, and you're going against all the big marketing agencies in the United States. So again, maybe do it in the middle of the night, maybe bid on some stuff, but I would recommend sticking with outbound methods, going to shows, meeting people in the beginning, because that's a click. That's not even a conversion. It might cost you $1,000 to get a conversion.
Yeah, well, and then in the course, we have a few different outbound methods that Brandon uses, and we use the agency that we teach in there so that you can do that. Another good thing, Brandon mentioned going to events and things like that. One thing you could do too is, like, if you're in a BNI chapter, you could pull all of your BNI members in and set up a retargeting ad campaign just to the people in the BNI group, which would be very low cost because it's such a small list, but it would look to them like you're just everywhere. Like, they don't know you're not running ads to everybody. There's just everywhere they go, there you'd be. So that's another good way to kind of dip your toes in that as well. Let me scroll through the messages here. And then I want to show you guys inside the course so you can actually see too. Here's a good question. Do you separate the ad spend from the management fee? 1K for ads, 1K for management.
In the first agency, I did not separate them. Instead, I used an Amex Gold card to rack up credit card points for free travel and hotels, and it works really well. But your bigger clients are not going to send you $10,000, $20,000, $50,000 in ad spend on an invoice. They're going to want to pay it. So for the smaller clients, it does work, but as you get into bigger clients, it won't work the same. So it's all up to you. I will say, and it's an accounting nightmare, so I don't recommend.
Yeah, we don't have a replay of the call, Patty, because the call we did with Brandon was a special thing we did for Remote Millionaires members. One of the advantages of being an RM is you get to have some direct access to the people that we have access to. And so that's kind of what that call was about. Let me look. Here's one. Do you ever give one fee that includes management? Yes, so we just covered that. Taylor, you get PPC Maverick as a Shark Elite member, but not the call that we did in Remote Millionaires. That's a separate thing. Oh, people want to get their hands on that call. It was a really great call, by the way. It was really awesome. Not to rub it in. I'm not trying to rub it in there.
We dropped some sauce.
Yeah. Here's one. Dorn wants to know, what margin are you running in the PPC agency?
So I shoot for 50% gross margin.
That's good.
That's like after all of your contractors and people and everything all said and done.
Yep,
That's
I shoot
solid.
for 50%.
Nice.
Yeah, awesome. Taylor wants to know, what are your views on geofencing?
Geofencing, I use more zip codes and radius targeting than I do geofencing. I do think that geofencing is going to be the future, but right now I like to stick with zip codes.
Awesome.
Just because, and this is what I learned, and it's something you want to keep in mind about radius targeting. When someone says, hey, we travel 50 miles, well, a 50-mile radius, that 50-mile mark might actually be like 70 miles because of all the turns. It's not a straight shot, right? So now we do 35-mile radius targeting if they have a 50-mile radius, because of the actual traffic and the turns in the road is not a straight shot. So
Awesome.
That's
just a little
interesting.
tip there.
Yeah, somebody wanted to know, do you use any particular click tracker outside of Google Stats?
No, we set up Google data dashboards.
Gotcha. I dropped the link to PPC Maverick. It's scrolling along the bottom there for you guys that want to go check it out. offlinesharks.com/pay-per-click Maverick. I'm going to go through the course here in a minute. I know Nick and Brandon both have to go kind of at the top of the hour, so I want to rush through a couple of these other questions, because this was an interesting question, because in one of the upgrades, we have a case study of you scaling a client to a crazy amount. And I thought this question kind of applies. So does this ever happen to you? Do clients sometimes say, hey, thanks for setting up my ads, and then just take over? How do you kind of keep that from happening?
No, it has happened. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah. I can hear you fine.
Okay. It has happened in the past, but typically we build the landing pages. So as soon as they leave, we take the landing pages down, so they have the campaign, but they don't have the landing page and the conversion tracking.
Gotcha. That's a good tip. And I wouldn't let that keep you from prospecting, the fear that a client's going to leave. Like, just get the client, get the money, worry about if they leave later. Right?
Yeah. We had that happen to us the other day. I mean, it happens all the time. You know, people like, we had a guy that just stopped paying, and it was not, I mean, we were in way profitability for this guy. It's just, he didn't know how to run his business. Like, he was making, 3X on his ad campaign, and then just every month was like trying to catch up to pay his bills. And then we shut it off. And then later on, he's like, hey, can I just have my ad account? We're like, yeah, you can have your ad account, but it's not going to run. You don't have a landing page, but sure, here you go.
Yeah. Like, what the heck, right? What the heck? I know you and Brandon have to get going here in a few minutes. If you guys have any last minute questions, pop them in. What I'm going to do is we're going to give away some Cash App money right now. And then for those of you that want to, Brandon and Nick are going to take off, and I'm going to stick around for a few minutes and just show you the inside of PPC Maverick, and I can answer some questions about that as well. So let's give away some money, and then we'll go from there. So I got to play everyone's favorite clip.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money.
Dollar, dollar. Dollar, dollar. Ching, ching, bling, bling, got the chatter. You ain't talking money, then you're talking no matter.
Okay. Yeah. Our Cash App winners today are Sandy Alexander and Patty Rutowski. Congratulations. Some Cash App money coming your way. Somebody from the team will reach out. And I do have one more thing I want to do. Brandon, I know you guys got to get going. If you guys want to hop off, I can wrap up. I want to do a shout out to our Remote Millionaire Summer Challenge winners and our Sharkbites anniversary winners. And then I'm going to pull up the PPC Mavericks course and walk you guys through so you can see exactly what's inside. So if you want to stick around with that and hang around with me, do that. Other than that, Brandon, thanks so much for being on here. We really appreciate it. And Nick, thanks for, I know you're at a family event. You had to sneak away. So
I want to see the winners of the summer challenge. I want to see that real quick, and then I'll take off before you go through the.
Okay. All right. So, okay. So one more. Oh, nope, that's not it.
Wrong one.
Hold on. Here we go. Our Remote Millionaire Summer Challenge winners. Here we go. Pierre and Clint Whitney both landed their first clients in the Remote Millionaires program. And because they landed a client, we sent them $250 in cash. So Pierre landed a Google Business Profile Optimization for $297, and Clint Whitney did a press release, $529 plus website, press release $3,800. It's just a little way for us to reward people that come into Remote Millionaires, take action, and get that first client. So congratulations. And then we have some winners for some Remote Millionaire t-shirts. We have a very small number of these. Nick and I were the only ones that had them before. Sometimes you see Nick wearing them. But Bruce Mayo, Akshay, Dan Lesser, and Robert Royal all won a RM t-shirt. Bruce closed a Google Business Profile at $1,500. Akshay, a website at $1,950. Dan Lesser, Reputation Management at $97. And Robert, a logo for $200. So when people close a client, we throw them in a drawing, and then we pull out the prizes. So congratulations to all those Remote Millionaire members. Thank you so much for being a part of that community. You guys are awesome. A lot of movers and shakers in there, and congratulations on the win. And then our next winner is our Sharkbite. So we just celebrated 3 years of our newsletter, Sharkbites, and the live show. So 3 winners won the Shark swag boxes that you see in the background. Oh, well, you can't see in the background yet, but our Shark swag treasure chest. Samson Timothy, Michael Marquez, and Geoff Hepworth all won Shark swag boxes. And then we had 4 winners for $25 in a Cash App prize. Bill Stanley, Phil, Doug Page, and Enrique all won $25 in Cash App money. Congratulations. Somebody from the team will be reaching out to you. And then we gave 3 lucky people full access to PPC Maverick. That's James Argyris, Curtis Burns, and Mark Stolman all won access to Paperclip Maverick. So thanks for being a part of our community, for participating in that contest. Congratulations, everybody.
Man, that's awesome stuff. You know, there's so much that we do here in this community. We give away so much stuff. We give away just a lot of money, but also, you know, courses, information, training. And a lot of that happens here on this live stream. So if this is your first time, or even if you've been on this live stream before, We do it the same time every week, Friday, and you should mark it down in your calendar. And that way next week, if you want to be entered to win, you can just show up, get some good information, win some money, get some prizes, get some swag boxes, all that stuff. So congrats everybody that got a client. And Tom, you're going to show them what's inside PPC Maverick now.
Yeah, I'm going to take a little screen share. I'll show you guys what's inside the main course so you know what to expect. And of course, you can go pick it up. Like Nick said, it's on a special launch pricing. Today is you can get it for the best price today, up until midnight tonight. You just go to offlinesharks.com/pay-per-click Maverick. So Nick, I know you got to hop off. I'm going to share my screen and I'll walk you guys through this. And then we'll wrap up another amazing episode of the Aloha Friday Marketing Jam Session.
Awesome. Thanks, Tom. Thanks, everybody. Excited to see and hear more about your results with PPC Maverick in the community in the Facebook group. Take care, everyone.
Yeah. Thanks, Nick. Talk to you later, man. Okay. All right. I'm going to share my screen here. And so when you pick up Pay-Per-Click Maverick, you'll log into your Offline Sharks dashboard. You'll see the course in there. When you click on it, I just want to kind of go through what is inside the course so you guys can kind of see what's here. So these are all the modules. By the way, some of these are part of the upgrades. So this Pay-Per-Click Maverick upgrades and the Afterburner Advanced Scaling Masterclass, those are the two upgrades that are offered after the main course. But everything above this, the bonuses, how to land clients this week, running campaigns, profitable research, setting up the proper way, all of this is included in the main course from start here all the way down to bonuses. And then if you pick up any of the upgrades, you'll see those as well in your members area. Each of these modules is packed with videos. So this is the start here, right? Talk about the opportunity, all that stuff. And then Brandon goes into some detail, selling ads with ease. He talks about the 37 times growth mentality, how to frame the conversation with the one true metric. We talked about that earlier in the live show. The 3 levers that you have to pull to make this work, numbers to think about, how to plan your budget. All that's covered in this module. Then he goes into detail on how to set everything up the proper way, right? How to set up your account and billing, how to do the Google dashboard setup, how to add clients, how to request access, how to do conversion tracking, funnel softwares, if you're going to use them, how to get all that stuff going. Then he goes into profitable research, right? How to do the keyword research, how to do the competitor research. He talks about running the campaigns. So how do you set up a campaign properly? What do you do when you want to go live? The search terms, negative keywords, an important part, optimizing and scaling. And then he demonstrates the engine there. And then we have a module on how to land clients this week. So we go over the best niches to target. We talk about Brandon's stealth social selling strategy. We've got a cold and warm email outreach campaign in there. We've got a foot in the door strategy and a closing strategy. You get all of that in the main course. And then you also get these bonuses. So we've got a bonus. It's a live account audit. So Brandon actually shows you if you had a potential PPC client, like how do you go in and audit their account to convince them you know what you're doing? You actually get to see him do one that he did for an actual client. Plus there's a PPC glossary of terms so you can learn the lingo so you understand what everybody's talking about, all that stuff. And then we have a couple of unadvertised bonuses. One is a video that Brandon is in the process of shooting right now that covers call-only ads. So that'll be in there in the next 48 to 72 hours. And then there's a surprise bonus bribe you guys will see in there as well. So that's everything you get in the main course. Again, right now, it's only $27. You just go to offlinesharks.com/pay-per-click Maverick. Again, Brandon sold this information before for $3,000. So extremely, extremely great deal. Super stoked that he was able to bring it out at this price. And then if you're interested in the upgrades, there's lots of things in the upgrades. So we've got some done for you landing page templates, sales and marketing pack. We've got some live sales recordings. We've got some PPC ad swipe files of the top 24 niches, plus a PP ad swipe file of the top 12 niches, all in there. And then Brandon did an advanced kind of scaling masterclass where sometimes, you know, when you're looking for those whale clients, the big ones that we were talking about earlier in the show, this course shows you exactly how to deliver results for those types of clients. So you can see lots of live case study walkthroughs, all that kind of stuff in this as well. This advanced course is really, really great. Again, you don't need it to get started with this, right? Everything you have in the main course will get you started. But if you're maybe doing PPC right now and you're looking to go after those bigger clients like we were talking about, you're definitely going to want to pick up that upgrade. So that's everything in the course. Again, you just go to offlinesharks.com/PPC Maverick. You can grab it today. Really appreciate everybody hanging out. I don't know who this is, but our support team is on standby to get you access. So if you have not received your access, go to offlinesharks.com/support, submit a ticket. Our team is there right now manning the post to make sure everybody gets access as quickly as possible. So if you have not submitted a ticket, go there, Offline Sharks, submit a ticket. We'll get you taken care of. Awesome. Doug said, I really like the floors. Glad to be in the line. Remember us. Thank you. JT says, I picked it all up. Awesome. Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you, everybody. I really appreciate you hanging out with me. Thanks again. Another amazing Aloha Friday Marketing Jam session. We'll see you here next Friday. Same Shark time, same Shark channel. If you have questions, please hit up the support desk, offlinesharks.com/support. You can grab PPC Maverick at offlinesharks.com/pay-per-click-maverick. And I would love to hear your feedback and anything you think about the course inside the Facebook group as well. So look, everybody, enjoy the rest of your Friday. Stay safe. Practice Aloha. We'll see you here next week. And with that, I am going to cue up the outro.
You've been watching the Aloha Marketing Jam Session, your weekly marketing live show, always bringing you the latest strategies and tactics to build your remote empire from anywhere in the world. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this stream. You can stay up to date throughout the week with the Remote Millionaires podcast at remotemillionaires.com/podcast and Nick's YouTube videos at nickponte.com/YouTube. We'll be back here next Friday for another live show. Until then, aloha.